There's a truth most men won't say out loud. They feel small in the very rooms they once dreamed of walking into. They compare themselves to others, friends, co-workers, even complete strangers on social media, and they constantly ask themselves, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Every now and then, they get a taste of confidence when someone gives them a compliment, when a post gets a lot of likes, or when an achievement is recognized. But that feeling fades as quickly as it arrives. The moment the attention dies down, the moment a single criticism lands, their confidence crumbles, leaving behind a hollow space filled with doubt. Have you felt that before? You share a photo or an idea you're proud of, only to be met with silence? You walk into a gathering, and suddenly your voice feels smaller. You try to look steady, but deep down, you hear that whisper, I'm just pretending. We've been told that to succeed, we have to believe in ourselves, to fake it till you make it. But no one tells you what happens when that belief wavers, when the fake smile can't hide the storm inside. And eventually, we burn out from holding up the mask. But what if I told you that real confidence is not a feeling, it's an action, that it doesn't come from trying to look strong, but from becoming steady, no matter what the situation is? This isn't a trendy, modern theory. It's ancient wisdom from people who lived through war, loss, betrayal, yet kept a steel-like calm. Stoicism has lasted for thousands of years, not because it sounds good, but because it was battle-tested in humanity's hardest moments. For the Stoics, confidence didn't come from applause or admiration. It came from within, from principles, perspective, and disciplined practice. They didn't need to prove themselves to the world, because their value wasn't dependent on anyone else. And here's the biggest difference. Modern confidence is built on image and approval. Stoic confidence is built on inner clarity and discipline. One shatters when the spotlight fades. The other stands firm, even in darkness. If you've ever found yourself caught in the cycle of comparison, if you're tired of pretending to be strong, this is the moment to step back, not to become the loudest person in the room, but to become the steadiest. And in this video, I'm going to show you how the Stoics built a confidence that can't be shaken, and how you can start building it today. Clarity of thought. There's something that kills confidence faster than any failure: mental chaos. You know the feeling when your mind buzzes like a swarm of bees, darting everywhere, except toward what you can do right now. The Stoics understood a truth most of us overlook. Confidence begins with clarity. If your mind is foggy, your confidence will be fragile. If your mind is clear, you'll stand firm like a rock. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are disturbed by anything external, it is not that thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment of it." What does that mean? That most of our fear, insecurity, and hesitation doesn't come from the world. It comes from how we think about the world. You can't control someone's opinion of you, but you can control where you put your attention. You can't control the outcome of a meeting, but you can control your preparation. You can't control the weather, the market, or rumors, but you can control your posture in the storm. When you see life through this lens, the world suddenly feels smaller. The noise dies down. Your energy stops scattering and starts focusing like a laser. Most men don't lose confidence because they lack value. They lose it because their minds are pulled in every direction, reacting to every change, trying to control what was never theirs to control. They chase peace by rearranging the outside world, while ignoring the storm inside. The Stoic does the opposite. He steps back, observes, doesn't let emotion dictate his reaction. He asks, right here, Right now, what is actually within my control? That single question is powerful enough to halt the chaos, because once you know what you can do and focus only on that, you're no longer dragged by 100 different worries. This is the difference between someone pretending to be confident and someone who truly is. The pretender tries to appear certain in every situation. Even when they're not, the real one accepts they don't know everything, can't control everything, and is at peace with that. Want to walk into a room without fear, tightening your chest, clear your mind before you walk in. Tell yourself, I can't control their thoughts. I can only control how I present myself. When you do that, every word, every look, every move comes from a mind that's clean, uncluttered. Clarity isn't a gift you're born with. It's a skill, a habit, a daily practice. Every time you get swept into a spiral of worry, remember, it's not the world attacking you, it's you attacking yourself by thinking in the wrong direction. The Stoic never leaves his mind unguarded. He protects it like a fortress. Every thought must pass through two gates. Is this within my control? Is it worth my energy? If the answer is no, he lets it go. No argument, no clinging, no getting pulled in. That's why, when you meet someone with clarity of thought, you instantly sense something different. It's not that they have all the answers, it's that they aren't rattled by meaningless questions. And when you reach that state, calm mind, focused only on what you control, confidence stops being something you chase. It becomes something that naturally flows from you. Courage in action. You might think that to be confident, you have to be free from fear. But the truth is the opposite. Confidence doesn't come from eliminating fear. It comes from acting while fear is still there. The Stoics understood something simple. Fear is a human reflex. It's not the enemy, it's a signal. But most of us let that signal turn into chains. We freeze. We delay. We tell ourselves, I'm not ready yet. And every time we do that, we withdraw from our self-respect bank. The opposite is also true. Every time you choose to do something hard, no matter how small, you make a deposit into that bank. No one sees it. No one applauds. But you know, and that knowledge that you did the hard thing becomes the foundation of your confidence. Think about the last time you did something that made your heart race. Maybe it was speaking up in front of a crowd. Maybe it was telling the truth, even though you knew it wouldn't be well received. Maybe it was turning down an offer because it didn't align with your values. How did you feel afterward? Tired? Maybe. But deep down you felt bigger, stronger. That is the power of courageous action. It's not reckless or impulsive. The Stoics didn't celebrate rash decisions. They valued disciplined courage, acting in the face of fear, but guided by principles, not by bursts of emotion. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," meaning, most of your fear is an illusion. It exaggerates the risks, distorts the outcome, and convinces you that acting will be worse than it actually is. But the moment you take one step toward it, the illusion fades. And here's the powerful part. Every time you choose courage over delay, you're reshaping who you are, not in the eyes of others, but in your own. You become the kind of person who knows, I can trust myself to do what needs to be done. Think of yourself as a warrior in training. Every act of courage is a scar on your armor. Those scars don't weaken you, they're proof that you've lived, fought, and stood your ground. If you avoid every challenge, your armor will stay shiny, but fragile. And when the real battle comes, it will shatter at the first blow. Courage isn't shouting louder. It isn't slamming the table to prove you're strong. Sometimes, it's quiet resolve showing up every day, doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. Today, your courage might be as small as sending that email you've put off for a week. Tomorrow, it might be standing up for an idea everyone else rejects. Over time, these small acts stack up into an identity. You are the person who acts, not the one who hides. The Stoic doesn't seek the spotlight to prove his courage. He lets his actions speak, because he knows real confidence doesn't come from someone else's praise. It comes from that quiet nod to yourself in the mirror. When you can say, "Today, I took one step toward the man I want to become." Integrity of character. You can play the role of a confident man in front of the whole world. You can walk into a room with your shoulders back, your voice steady, and your gaze locked in. But if deep down you know you're living against your values, your confidence is nothing more than a hollow shell. The Stoics knew that real confidence cannot be separated from integrity. Integrity is what gives you peace, even when no one recognizes you. It's the quiet strength that lets you sleep at night because you're not pretending to be someone else. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Sounds simple, but in a world full of temptations to bend the rules just a little, exaggerate a bit, or do it to keep everyone happy, holding on to integrity is a hard choice. And that hard choice builds a kind of confidence no one can steal. Integrity means you and your principles are one, not just when others are watching, but when no one is in the room, when there's no camera, when there's no instant reward. A man without integrity can impress at first. He can draw attention, but deep down, he knows he's acting, and that act eats away at his self-respect day by day. A man with integrity doesn't need to look strong. He is strong, not because he's perfect, but because his words, actions, and values are aligned. When he says, "I'll do it," he does it. When he sets a boundary, he keeps it. When he's wrong, he admits it and makes it right. Integrity turns every action into a brick in the foundation of your confidence, and that foundation is completely different from the kind of confidence you borrow from someone else's approval, because when you live honestly, no one can take it away from you. Think about the last time you kept a promise to yourself. Maybe it was small, like finishing a workout. You almost skipped. How did you feel afterward? That's confidence, born from integrity. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's rooted deep. On the other hand, every time you betray your own principles, even in a small way, you chip away at your inner strength. You start doubting yourself. You lose trust in yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, how can you expect anyone else to trust you? The Stoic chooses the hard road, telling the truth, even when lying would be easier. Keeping a promise, even when no one would know if you broke it. Saying no to what goes against your values, even if it offers quick rewards. Integrity won't always get you applause. Sometimes it will cost you opportunities, but it buys you something priceless, your own respect. And when you have that, you no longer need to chase the approval of others. Stoic confidence isn't walking into a room thinking, "Everyone will like me." It's walking in thinking, "No matter what they think, I'll live by what I believe." In the end, confidence isn't about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. And if that image is of a man who is honest, principled, and unshakable, then no insult, no failure, no loss can destroy you. See, self-mastery. You can have clarity of thought. You can have the courage to act. You can live with integrity. But if you cannot master yourself, all of that can collapse in a single moment of weakness. Self-mastery is not just a nice-sounding slogan. It's the ability to manage your emotions, thoughts, and actions, even when the pressure is crushing down on you. The Stoics understood the most dangerous enemy is not the opponent out there, it's the impulse within. Anger, fear, impatience, they are like giant waves, and if you let them take the wheel, you'll steer straight into the rocks. Self-mastery begins with recognizing when emotions are driving your decisions. You can't always control when those waves appear, but you can always choose how to respond. That's the difference between someone who's dragged around by emotion and someone who uses emotion as fuel. Imagine you're in the middle of an argument. The other person says something insulting. Your instinct is to fire back instantly, to hit back just to win the moment. But the person who has mastered himself pauses. He breathes. He asks, "Is this really important? Where will reacting right now take me sometimes?" Just a few seconds of pause are enough to turn a pointless fight into a situation you control. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Self-mastery is also discipline in action, not discipline as punishment. Discipline as the tool to protect and sustain your strength over the long term. The undisciplined man might win a small battle, but lose the entire war. The disciplined man is patient, unwilling to destroy his progress for a momentary pleasure. There will be days you don't want to work, mornings when you want to skip the workout, moments where just letting it slide feels easier. But each time you push through laziness, procrastination, and self-indulgence, you carve deeper into your identity. I am the kind of man I can trust to do what needs to be done. Self-mastery is also staying calm in chaos. It's when the whole team is panicking over a failing project, and you're the one thinking clearly. It's when everyone else loses patience, and your voice stays steady. That calmness spreads. It makes others trust you, but more importantly, it makes you trust yourself. The Stoics never tried to kill their emotions. They learned to wield them, like a warrior with a sword, knowing when to draw it and when to sheath it. They knew that impulse can win a minute, but calm will win a lifetime. Here's the truth. Most won't tell you. Long-term confidence cannot survive without self-mastery, because life will test you. And if you lose control in the wrong moment, everything you've built can start to shake. Self-mastery is a journey. It doesn't come from one burst of willpower. It comes from hundreds, thousands of moments where you choose what's right over what's easy. And every one of those moments doesn't just build discipline, it builds an inner fortress that no storm can tear down. Woo. Purpose alignment. There is one thing that can keep a man standing in the storm, even when every other pillar of strength is tested. Purpose. When you know exactly why you're doing something, you become difficult to shake. You stop being pulled into endless comparisons. You stop being tempted by shortcuts. You stop needing permission before you move forward. The Stoics lived with a bigger picture in mind. They asked, "What is my purpose? Does this bring me closer to it?" If the answer was no, they didn't waste another second. A clear purpose is a compass. It guides your decisions when the road ahead is foggy. It keeps you moving when results haven't shown up yet. It gives you a reason to get out of bed on the mornings when motivation is gone. A man without purpose is like a ship without a rudder. When the wind changes, he changes course. When the crowd changes opinion, he changes his. He isn't truly living, he's drifting. And when you drift, your confidence depends entirely on the weather. When life is good, you feel fine. When the storm hits, you lose all direction. The man who lives with purpose can stand in the storm and still face forward, not because he isn't afraid, but because he knows where he's going and why he must keep going. Imagine climbing a mountain. If you're only climbing because others are, the first hard section will make you quit. But if that summit is tied to something deeper, proving something to yourself, fighting for someone you love, creating change for a cause you believe in, you will keep climbing. No matter how cold, no matter how tired, no matter who's watching. Purpose also protects you from short-term temptations. Quick money, instant fame, easy approval. These things lose their shine if they don't serve your mission. When you know your values, you don't sell them for short-term rewards. The deepest confidence comes from living in alignment with the ideals you believe in. When you know exactly what you're building, every step carries more weight. You don't have to fake strength. You are strong, because every action is connected to something bigger than yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Perform every act in life as though it were your last." It's not about working yourself into exhaustion. It's about living each moment with intention, refusing to waste your energy on what's empty. Living with purpose doesn't mean you'll always know every step. It means every step you take has direction, and that direction is what makes your confidence unshakable. Because once you know what you live for, you don't need permission, you don't need the crowd's approval. You just keep walking. True confidence versus fake confidence. We live in an age where confidence is performed more than it is built. People talk about it. They wear it like a sharp suit. They display it on social media through photos, posture, and a certain look in their eyes. But what they call confidence is often nothing more than a mask. Modern confidence is image-based. If you look successful, people assume you're confident. If you speak loudly, walk boldly, and smile brightly, they think you're strong. Here's the problem. The lights will go out. The crowd will leave. And when that happens, what's left? That kind of confidence is like a castle built on sand. It stands as long as the sea is calm, but all it takes is one wave, a criticism, a failure, a rejection, and it collapses. Stoic confidence is different. It isn't loud. It doesn't need the spotlight. It stands firm even when no one is watching, because its foundation isn't image, it's virtue, principles, and self-control. A Stoic doesn't pretend to control everything. They know they can't, and they're at peace with that. They don't need to win every argument. They just need to live by their values, no matter what others think. Modern confidence depends on the crowd's reaction. When praised, you feel strong. When criticized, you feel weak. Stoic confidence doesn't sway with other people's opinions because its standard lives inside, not outside. The one who fakes confidence is obsessed with being validated. They wear masks that fit the group or the moment. But there's a cost. You slowly forget who you really are. The one with true confidence doesn't need multiple versions of themselves. They are one person everywhere, with anyone, not because they're stubborn, but because their thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony. Fake confidence is exhausting to maintain. You're always thinking, how do I keep up this image? True confidence frees you. You don't have to perform, you just have to live right. And here's the paradox. True confidence is often quiet and calm, but it's stronger than all the noise. When you meet someone with this kind of confidence, you can feel it instantly, not because they talk a lot, but because they don't need to talk to prove anything. When the lights go out, the crowd disappears, and the world turns its back. Fake confidence fades like smoke, but true confidence stands clear, steady, unshakable. That's why Stoicism doesn't teach you how to look confident. It teaches you how to be confident even when no one is watching. Knowing the theory is one thing. Living it is something else entirely. The Stoics didn't just talk about principles, they built them into daily habits. Here are 5 simple but powerful practices to help you build the kind of confidence that can't be shaken. Is negative visualization. Imagine what could go wrong. It might sound pessimistic, but it actually frees you from fear. Spend a few minutes each morning imagining the worst that could happen today. A project fails. Someone rejects you. An argument happens. Not to dwell on it, but to prepare your mind. When you accept that it could happen and that you'd still be okay, fear loses its power. You enter the day thinking, whatever comes, I'm ready. Voluntary discomfort. Step into small hardships on purpose. We live in an age of comfort, and comfort can weaken our inner strength. The Stoics practiced small, intentional challenges. Take a cold shower, skip a meal, walk instead of drive. Tackle the hardest task first. These send a powerful message to yourself. I am not ruled by comfort. So when real challenges come, you're not shocked. You're ready. Journaling. Reflect with purpose, not the emotional Dear Diary kind, but a sharp tool for thinking clearly. Each day, answer 3 questions. What did I do well today? What did I avoid that I should have faced? What am I afraid of? And is that fear truly reasonable? Writing things down makes you see yourself more clearly, and when you see clearly, you act with clarity and confidence grows. The 3-minute rule. Kill procrastination before it kills your confidence. Overthinking and hesitation destroy action. The rule is simple. If there's something you fear or avoid, give yourself 3 minutes to start it. Not 3 hours to think. Not 3 days to plan. 3 minutes to send the email. Make the call. Open the file. Or walk out the door. Once you start, momentum will carry you forward. Daily detachment. Let go. Every single day, we're owned by more things than we realize. Our phone, other people's attention, a compliment, a notification. The Stoics trained themselves to step back from these, at least for a few minutes each day. Put the phone away. Don't check messages right away. Sit still. Breathe. Remember that your value does not depend on the world's feedback. These habits won't change you overnight, but repeated daily, they quietly build inner strength, a kind of confidence no spotlight can create, and no storm can destroy. True confidence is not a gift you're born with. It's the result of discipline, principles, and the unshakable connection between your values, thoughts, and actions. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room. You don't need to impress instantly. You just need to be the steadiest one, the one whose presence alone makes others feel the weight of silent strength. Remember, this world is noisy. There will always be someone showing off achievements, showing off appearances, showing off carefully curated moments. But lasting confidence is not in the spotlight. It's in how you live when the lights are off. Build a life you can respect. A life where, if it's just you and the mirror, you can look yourself in the eye and smile. Don't chase recognition, chase living right. Because when you live right, Recognition, if it comes, is just a bonus. If what you've heard today resonates with you, if you want to keep building inner strength and the kind of confidence that nothing can shake, stay with me. Hit subscribe. And let's keep diving deeper into these timeless principles, not just to learn a few tricks, but to build a person. And I believe you're ready to become that person.